So you're out skating, having a great time, and then you start trying a trick over and over and over again, and you can't land it, and you start to get real frustrated. Or you watch some gnarly skate video and then you start getting down on yourself and you're like, wow, I'm never going to be able to do that. Or if you find yourself just getting down on yourself in general and kind of unmotivated to go skate, then this video is for you, so watch this video. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to stay motivated when you're skating, or if you're not motivated, how to get motivated to skate, and if you can't land a trick, how to sort of stay in the right mental mindset to go out and keep landing that trick instead of giving up. So first of all, being unmotivated in skating is totally natural, and it just about happens to everyone that skates. So you're not going to be able to avoid it completely, but using these tips you should be able to get motivated when you notice yourself getting unmotivated, and hopefully that'll in turn make you a better skater because you'll be able to progress faster. First, let's talk about staying motivated. So you're trying a trick and you can't land it and you start to get really mad, so you end up like throwing your board or breaking your board or taking your anger out on something other than yourself, which is good. I mean, you shouldn't take your anger out on yourself, but it's not your board's fault and it's not like your shoe's fault. It's not technically anyone's fault but your own. Getting mad at things and throwing them is not going to solve your problems, and trust me, I've broken a very big amount of boards by getting mad and throwing them or breaking them, and in the end I always regret it and I'm like, I shouldn't have done that because now I don't have a board. So don't throw your board, don't take your anger out on anything, and instead learn how to focus that anger into motivation to land the trick and to keep trying the trick. So the first step in staying motivated is when you find yourself getting really angry and frustrated and unmotivated, just take a step back, set your board down maybe, sit down and take a few deep breaths and just realize that it's just skateboarding, it's supposed to be fun, it's not supposed to be some super stressful activity. So take a few deep breaths, think about what you're doing, just think about it in the big picture. Just take a step back and just think and be, and don't focus on the trick for a second. After a minute or two of that, you'll notice yourself feeling a lot less angry, and you're going to want to take out your anger on your board or something a lot less, which is good because that'll save you a board. And once you sort of calm down a little bit, then all you got to do is focus that anger, and it's technically motivation. It's motivation to like take your anger out, and focus that negative motivation into positive motivation. So now that you've taken a few deep breaths, you're probably feeling better already and a lot less angry. And now maybe look at your feet again, look at the way your feet are set up, and go and try the trick again. And maybe just those few deep breaths were enough to help you land the trick. That's what it is a lot of the time for me. And if not, just keep trying the trick, just stay relaxed. If you feel yourself getting uptight again, just repeat the steps and release that energy. And once you do that, just repeat those steps until you either land the trick or decide you don't want to land the trick, which is another option. If you just can't do it, then give it up for a while and go skate something else, and sometimes taking a break from it and doing some other skating and then going back to the trick will help a lot. So if you've tried calming down and trying the trick again and that hasn't worked for you, then just go skate something else and then go back to that trick in a little bit, maybe a different day, and I guarantee you it'll feel better. Also, no one likes skating with like a Debbie Downer or like an angry person that's throwing a board everywhere. So if you find yourself doing that, just like, if you're skating with your friends, this helps a lot. Just like talk to your friends, either about skating or just about anything else, and just go skate with them and have a good time, and then go back to the trick. And just being with your friends should be enough to like calm you down, and because skateboarding is like such a mental game, just that like calmness in your brain is probably going to help you either land the trick or get closer. Now I'm going to talk about getting motivated if you're not motivated already. So that's like if you like don't even want to go skate in the first place, or you're just like so over a trick that you're like, I'm never going to try that again. Or if you see like a 10 stair and you've done an 8 stair already and you're like, I kind of want to try the 10 stair, but you don't because it's like pushing your limits too far, or you're like afraid you're going to get hurt, then these tips should help you. Obviously, fear of hurting yourself is a natural part of skateboarding because getting hurt is definitely a risk of skateboarding because it's an action sport. But if you let that fear stop you from trying a trick, then chances are you're not really going to progress. Now, I'm not saying go try a 29 stair if you've only done like a 2 stair before, but I'm saying that you're going to need to constantly be somewhat pushing your boundaries, not too much, but where you just feel comfortable with it, but you also just feel uncomfortable with it, and that way you're going to be able to progress. So if you're really unmotivated and you don't want to try the stair set in the first place, I'm just using a stair set as an example, but you like think you could do it but you don't really want to, then think about, like, what helps me sometimes is thinking about the reward of landing it and how it'll feel to finally roll away from that trick. And if that doesn't work for you, what sometimes works for me is I'll set my phone up as a video camera and then go try the trick, and then just like the concept of being filmed while I try the trick is gonna make me want to try harder or try more, because first of all, the way I think of it at least is if I get hurt, it's on camera and it's cool, and if I land the trick, it's on camera and it's cool, so it's like a win-win. You also have to think about what you want skateboarding to be for you. So like if you want skateboarding to be like a career for you or something that you're like seriously pursuing in your life, then you're gonna need to push yourself. But if you're just using it as like a pastime hobby or like just a little fun activity, then you don't need to constantly push yourself if you're just doing it for fun. Although like skateboarding is about progression and that's what's sort of fun about it. But you don't necessarily need to go that big and like push yourself that hard if it's just for fun. So you can kind of know your limits and know what you should and shouldn't do. So let's say you did what I said earlier, where you took a few breathing breaks and you de-stressed yourself and you feel a little better, and you've done that over and over again for days and you still can't do the trick. Well, that might just mean that you're not like gonna do the trick right now. So I hate to break it to you, but just give up on that trick. Just not forever, like a few days, maybe a few weeks, but just skate some other stuff, learn some other new tricks, and eventually when you go back to that trick that you couldn't do, I promise you that it'll be surprisingly easier than you expected. Sometimes just taking like a 2-week break from trying a certain trick and then going back to trying that trick after not trying it for weeks will make the world of a difference, and you'll like land the trick first try or something. You'll be like, whoa, how'd I just do that? And just the fact that like your brain was overthinking it, so then going back to it you have like a whole new mindset on it, and that really helps me learn a lot of new tricks actually. The way I learned to kickflip actually was I was trying them all day, like all day every day for probably 2 or 3 weeks, and then my family and I went on a camping trip to Montana and I couldn't bring my skateboard or anything, so I left the skateboard at home, didn't skate for the whole 3 or 4 weeks I was in Montana, and then I get back, grab my skateboard, do a kickflip and land it first try. So sometimes taking a quick break and then going back to the board and trying the trick will make you land the trick. I don't necessarily know why, but it really does, so try that. And lastly, if you're not motivated to go skate in the first place, that could either mean one of two things. One, you're just not like really a skater. You rarely skate, and if you're a true skater, you're gonna want to go skate the majority of the time. I mean, everyone has those days where they're just gonna like chill and take it easy, but if you're just constantly finding yourself not wanting to skate, then try another sport like golf or frisbee golf. But maybe skating's not for you, and that's great. I mean, skating's not for everyone, but the whole point of skateboarding is to enjoy it, and if you don't enjoy skateboarding, then it's probably not for you. Now, if you consider yourself a skater and you like believe that you are a skater and you still find yourself unmotivated to skate, try watching a few skate videos. Like I have some go-to skate videos that I'll watch before I go skate if I'm feeling unmotivated, and then after watching them I'm like, that was super gnarly, I want to go skate and do that. And then I can't do that obviously because it's like Night to Houston, but it makes you feel better and makes you pumped up to go skate. And that's really about it. I mean, that's all the tips that I have for staying motivated or getting motivated to skate. So I hope these helped, and if they did, please click like down below. Even if they didn't help you, please click like, just because you're that generous. It takes like 1 second and it really helps me out, like more than you'd think. So please click like, click subscribe if you want to get updates for more videos that I do, and that's about it. Thank you.